Kane Enabled podcast. I got my cousin right here, BigTDawg. So our plan is this is episode part two. So he's gonna be on the podcast from now on. We're probably gonna do this at least like once a week or whenever we can. So right now I'm just gonna introduce him. So T Dog, you want to say a little something about yourself, like who you are, where
Nah,
you
yeah,
from?
I'm your cousin, big sports guy, video game guy, all of that.
Yeah. So so you lived in Chicago all your life, or
Oh yeah, I lived in Chicago all my life.
you visited any other places, or you
I
just
visited
been in
like no, I've been mostly in Chicago.
So I remember you telling me you went to St. Louis. You've been to St. Louis, right? How was that?
Yeah, I've been to St. Louis. I was there for one summer. It was cool. It's just really where we were at. We were in Granite City, Illinois, and it's real quiet out there. So there's really nothing to do out there. So it was kind of boring.
All right,
Being from Chicago, you are used to the all the noises, and going to a quiet spot is real different.
right. So I know you're a big sports guy. So right now I made a big list. In episode part one, I did an intro for myself, and for the first topic, I started off a top three categories. So I just wanted to let everybody know, get to know yourself a little bit better. So I'm gonna ask you the same questions I asked myself. So it may take a little while for you to think about it, but I'm gonna just start off with this. Since I know you're not a big gamer like that, so you haven't really played games, I'm not gonna ask you that one. So I'm gonna start off with TV. So what's your top three favorite TV shows of all time?
Oh, top three. Number one will probably be The Simpsons.
Simpsons,
Yeah, The Simpsons. Number two, I say King of the Hill.
King of the Hill.
Yeah, and number three, mm, oh, that's a good one. Number three.
Go ahead, take your time.
Oh,
You got
South Park. South
South Park.
Park.
So basically animes. That's cool. So what are your top three movies? Your favorite movies of all time?
Number one is Boys in the Hood. Number two is Sandlot.
Was in
Number
the
three, I
Hood,
would have to say Field of Dreams.
Field of Dreams. You guys wondering what I'm doing? I'm writing down his things, his top three. So then in future episodes, we'll probably come back to this and see if his answers and my answers change. So Field of Dreams is your third one, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So I'm actually this one, your top three animes, but it could be the same three that you use for your TV shows because the top three you used were actually animes. So do you just
Okay.
want to use those three?
Yeah, I could
And with
probably come up
animes,
with.
I mean like for my personal top three, I use Dragon Ball Z, Pokemon, and My Hero Academia. But
Yeah,
I
I
don't
would
know
go
about you.
with. Yeah, I would go with Pokemon,
As number one,
Yu-Gi-Oh. Yeah, Pokemon number one, Yu-Gi-Oh number two, and yeah, I would go Dragon Ball number three.
Dragon Ball. You know what? Yu-Gi-Oh could have made my list, but My Hero Academia is so good that I
I haven't seen that one yet.
yeah, I know. But I even forgot about Yu-Gi-Oh. See, the thing is when you're doing the podcast, you don't remember. But when
Yeah,
uh, but when you actually, it's not even about doing the podcast. It's when you're doing the list. It's when you're doing the
yeah.
list. That's when you forget about everything, and then when you're not doing it or somebody else, that's when you remember. But anyways, your top three favorite heroes of all time.
Mm, I say Number one would be Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Yeah. Number two,
So if you want to hear my three was number one was Batman, number two was Goku, and number three I could have put a lot of people, but I ended up going with Thor. But it could be from whatever. It's just your top three favorite heroes.
yeah, I'll put Yugi from Yu-Gi-Oh! And my third one, yeah, I'll go Batman number three.
Batman. All right, now your top three favorite villains of all time.
Top three favorite villains of all time.
So my top three were number one was Deathstroke, number two was Joker, and number three was Frieza.
Yeah, number one will be Joker for me.
Joker.
Number two will be this guy from what was it? Thanos.
Interesting.
And number three, probably Team Rocket from Pokemon.
That's a good one.
Yeah, but I like the little cat.
Meow.
Yeah.
You know what? That's a good list. I like that one. And last but not least, since I would ask you the top three UFC fighters, but I don't know. Are you big on UFC? Like you know a lot of good fighters.
Yeah, I know a lot of good fighters.
All right. Well, I'm just gonna ask you the top three favorite wrestlers of all time.
Top three favorite wrestlers of all time. Number one will be Undertaker. Number two would be The Rock. And number three would be Ric Flair.
Oh, you want to hear my top three?
Yeah.
So it was a tie between Bret Hart and HBK. Uh,
Good one.
my, uh, technically number two is Edge, and number three is Triple H.
Oh,
So
Edge is
here
a
are
really
your
good
top.
one.
Huh?
Edge is a really good one.
I love Edge. What are your top three UFC fighters of all time? My personals was number one Anderson Silva, number two the Mighty Mouse, and number three Chuck Liddell.
Yeah, well, my top three UFC, you had hit it right on the point, but you had got me into UFC. So the first guy I started seeing was Chuck Liddell. So I put him number one, Anderson Silva number two, and Lyoto Machida number three.
Oh, Lyoto's a good one. The only reason why I didn't pick Lyoto is because he was on top for a while, and I talked about it a lot of times where his style was unbeaten for a while until he finally got beaten. But anyways,
Yeah.
so now I'm gonna go to category two.
Okay.
So I kind of switched this up, and I switch it up just for you because I just wanted to do that. And so I asked myself the World Series prediction, and I wanted to see what was your World Series prediction. So I put I had the I got the Dodgers versus Houston, and if you want, you don't have to claim the Braves because the Braves are losing 13-1 as of right now.
Yeah, I know they just totally got whooped today. No, my original prediction was I was either saying it was gonna be I was gonna pick Houston, and
Houston
for
is winning.
me in the National League it was between the Dodgers and the Braves. But right now, I would have to say I would like to see the Dodgers versus the Astros again, a rematch, and see if
So,
the Dodgers could come over the top.
so as of today, what's today's date? Uh,
Today's the ninth.
so as of the ninth, almost every team is in game fives. So as of the ninth, the most likely the Cardinals are winning game five.
Yes,
So basically a lot of the game fives. So you got who?
I got coming out of Game 5.
No, just the World Series predictions.
I got the World Series prediction: Astros and Dodgers, the rematch of last year, and see if the Dodgers could overcome everything and become champions.
So you got the Dodgers winning it all.
Yeah, because I got them. They remind me of when Kansas City went to the playoffs and they missed out in the World Series, and they came back the next year and won the World Series. So that's what the Dodgers are kind of reminding me of.
So, but yeah, like that game yesterday with the Nationals. The Nationals came back, and
Oh
I
yeah,
told you that going into the series, I was like, the Nationals are dangerous. Don't count them out. And then remember, they got Strasburg tonight, so it's gonna be a good series. But
yeah,
I went the same with you. I went Houston and Astros, and then I ended up. I think I said that I had the Astros winning it all.
yeah, and that could both teams could be eliminated tonight
Yeah,
because
but
Tampa Bay starting to play again,
yeah,
and Nationals are starting to hit too.
yeah. But so now I'm gonna just talk about like get to know you a little bit more, and I'm gonna ask you your favorite teams. So we're gonna start with the NFL. What's your favorite NFL team?
I'm a homer, so it's just gonna be the Chicago Bears. And if there was
Chicago
another team besides the Chicago Bears, it'd be New England Patriots.
Patriots. So out of the Bears, who's your favorite player of all time?
My favorite player of all time would be Walter Payton. I love the way he used to run the ball and how hard it was for people to tackle him.
Yeah, he was a monster, man. So
Oh yeah,
I made a joke on episode part one that we weren't gonna bully the Packers fans too hard, but yeah, I mean, right now, as of today, we really don't have that much room to talk. But anyways, what is your favorite NBA team of all time?
my NBA team is the Bulls.
The Chicago Bulls. Who is your favorite player of all time?
Mine will be Michael Jordan.
About that.
It's a toss up between Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant.
If you had to choose one, who would it be?
I'll choose Michael Jordan.
If you were gonna choose Kobe over MJ, I would have
Oh
to end the
no,
podcast
but
right now.
what he did for the Chicago Bulls franchise, going repeat back to back, you can't overtake that.
Now, as you know, me growing up as a kid, I love Chicago teams, but you know my favorite player of all time was Dirk Nowitzki.
Yes, it
So
was.
huh?
Yes, it was.
So I said that on episode one. I'm technically not. I don't know if I'm gonna upload episode one, but this technically might be episode one. It's still kind of undecided. So because I am since I am saying what my picks were, there's
Yeah,
no point of me just uploading episode one if I'm just saying it right here, you know.
yeah,
But
that's true.
anyway, huh?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So, who is your favorite UFC fighter of all time? Mine's personal was Anderson Silva.
Mine personal was the first guy that you showed me UFC, and it was Chuck Liddell.
The Iceman.
Yeah, the Iceman.
So I talked about in episode one, since I'm not uploading episode one, I talked about the style bender versus Whittaker. I don't know if you've seen it.
No, I didn't see it, but
So style bet, huh?
I seen highlights of it on Twitter.
So so style bender ended up beating Whittaker and became the new middleweight champion. It was a good fight. I loved it. And yeah, man. Shout out to Stylebender, man. He did the upset. I know on Twitter he or after the post fight he went backstage and he was talking about like because he did this little thing where he like before the
Yeah,
fight
he talked about that. Yeah,
yeah he was talking about the taunt doing the death note
yeah,
and I was like man you know shout out to Stylebender for that one man. A lot of people wouldn't understand it because it's an anime but you know, I shout out for him for doing that, man. I love him even more. So I wanted to play a little game between me and you, and I'm gonna do it like this. So it's what would you rather be? So
Okay.
I'm gonna start off with this one. Would you rather be a hero or a villain? And what superpower would you have?
I'll probably say a villain
A villain?
and have Thanos powers
What you mean by Thanos powers?
by being able to have the fist and just punch the ground and just have everything fly up in the sky and just
So
all them crazy.
you want the Infinity Gauntlet?
Yes.
You want to be an overpowered villain?
Yes, I do.
So with mine, I went with hero, and I would like teleportation. I think that would be cool because I was thinking about
Oh yeah.
The Nightcrawler scene
Yeah.
when he was in the original X Men when he was in the White House. I was just like
Yeah.
teleporting.
Just-
That's one of the
Yeah.
coolest scenes. Yeah. So what would you rather be, rich and miserable, or poor and happy?
I say what I've been this whole time, poor and happy. Because you be rich and sad and miserable, like what's the point of that? What's
Right.
the point of having all that money when you're just gonna be miserable?
Right. And that's what I was saying. That like that's a good one because if you look at most celebrities nowadays, they're rich and they're miserable sometimes.
Yeah,
And there's a lot of there's like epidemic where a lot of them committing suicide,
yeah,
like Anthony Bourdain and a few guys like that. They end up
yeah.
committing
Like
suicide
Rob
because they're
Williams
miserable.
too.
Yeah, and they end up falling into to drugs.
Yep.
So I'm with you on that one. I'd rather be poor and happy. So the other one, would you rather be living in today's times or medieval?
Oh, that's a tough one. I'll probably say medievals.
Medieval. So
Yeah.
there's a catch to that. So when you choose a medieval, you have a big chance of getting the Black Plague, the chicken pox, which there was no cure for that, and gonorrhea.
Holy
so
shit.
so there was a lot of diseases
Yeah,
in medieval times and there was no cures for them. So and then if you pick today's times, I mean, you got all this technology, you got cures for a lot of disease, but then you got AIDS, you got HIV, which in medieval times that wasn't common.
no, it wasn't.
So you're still going with medieval?
Now that you put it like that, I'll probably go for now time, modern
See,
time.
I said well, in my thing, I said I would still pick medieval and take the chance, just because it was a good, you know. I mean, how cool it was to walk around with a sword or join
Oh
the
yeah,
army. I mean, I think it'll be cool. So you going with today's times or medieval?
yeah.
Today's
Today,
times. Okay, cool. So, which would you rather be, a human or animal?
I'd say a human.
A human?
Yeah.
I want an animal. And then so the difference between that is, you know, just how it is. It's like you're an animal, there's a big risk of you being hunted down or you getting killed by another animal or something. But how cool it is to be an animal. So by animal I choose that I would be a bald eagle.
That's true. How cool would it be to be an animal for a day?
Yeah. So with topic number four, I just want to see you watch any new movies?
Yeah, I watched it too.
You watch It's Part Two. Funny stories. I watched it last night. Yeah. So the thing about it is that I liked it, but it wasn't scary.
Yeah, that's my same take out of it too. Like I watched it with my girl and her friend at the movie theater, and it was like some parts it was like so predictable what was gonna happen.
Yeah. So I thought it was funny, but I don't know. So one of my friends actually said he thought it was funny, and I could see the parts where he was talking about where he thought where it could be funny. The one where they're in the Chinese restaurant, and then
Oh
the
yeah.
thing is coming out of the it's it fortune cookies. I could see that part trying to be scary, but it wasn't scary. It's funny, just
No, it
like a little
wasn't.
baby head coming out of the
Yeah.
fortune cookie. I was like, what the hell's going on with this movie?
And
But
then when he
I
started hitting that table with the chair, and the Chinese lady just looked at them like, "What the hell are you doing?"
yeah, I thought that was a good one too. But like I said, I even like the ending. It's like like the movie was not scary at all, so I could see why people were complaining. But recently too, I had just watched Joker, and I think Joker, me personally, even though it's not a DC standalone, even though it's a standalone DC film, so it's
Hmm.
not part of the DC universe. That movie has potential of being winning Best Picture. I thought that movie was phenomenal. I had a good time watching it. I never watched a movie that ever made me feel like uh, like I wanted the villain to to succeed.
Yeah.
I wanted him to basically just kill everybody. I never felt that because I felt so bad, but I don't want to pose this. So I'm gonna try to keep this spoiler free. So because I don't know, have you seen Joker?
Not yet.
Dude, you gotta watch Joker, bro. It's so good, man. I'll tell you, it's my and like he did a phenomenal job. Like there were some scenes. I mean, the ending. I just say this: the ending is kind of predictable, but it's just the lead up to it man,
Yeah.
it's so good. It's Joaquin Phoenix did a hell of a job as Joker, man. I think he's definitely up there with Heath Ledger. I know I see a lot of posts saying that Joaquin is Heath Ledger is still the best Joker of all time, which he is. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
But Joaquin's job, what he did in this movie, phenomenal, man, phenomenal. I highly recommend that movie. But anyways, I'm gonna get to the last topic, and I saved the last topic, the best one for last, because I know you're a big baseball guy. So am I. So I wanted to keep this personal for you, less likely for me. And so basically, I just wanted to ask, since what is your favorite baseball team of all time?
Mine would have to be the Cubs.
So so what made you a Cubs fan?
It was just being being a little kid, being born into it. Grandma and grandpa, our grandma and grandpa, that's all they used to watch is Cubs game. So every time you used to come out and it was a summer day, that's all they used to watch was Chicago Cubs game. And
So
they
as
put
you
it.
So as
Hmm?
you know me, since you are my cousin, you know that I'm a huge White Sox fan. So
Oh
I,
yeah.
I, I think it's perfect for us to have a podcast and we both get different perspectives. So you as because not too many people have podcasts who do podcasts together that are two rival teams. So
Yeah.
like it's like you're a Cubs fan, I'm a Sox fan. You won't have see a lot of podcasts that has a Yankees fan mixed with a Mets fan or
Nope.
Boston Red Sox fan mixed with a Yankees fan. So I like the it's basically two different worlds right now. So I want
Oh
to
yeah.
ask you, how do you feel about the Cardinals basically advancing, being a Cubs fan?
I felt like I didn't want them to, but coming out at the end of it, it's looking like they were the better team. Like it,
Yeah,
it sucked. Yeah, you did. You did. But it was like when they were down and it came down to game 4, I thought that Braves had a good chance, especially with Carlos Martinez pitching, and he's not really a closer. You got a starter trying to be a closer, so I was like, man, they probably got a chance, but he got out that inning, and once Jadier got up, I had told you, we were talking at the time,
yeah.
and I had told you that he's gonna strike out or something like that, and they end up throwing him a fastball inside and high, and he got a hold of it and hit it far enough to score the run, and now they just took over the game today.
Yeah, it's crazy, man, to even think about that. Because going into the game, I wasn't as confident for the Cardinals, but I had the Braves doing something. Shout out to the Braves, man. They had a real good year. Just fell
Oh
short.
yeah,
And I mean, we know. I think I said that in a Facebook post, and I said that in the beginning of the year, the Cardinals are going to be a dangerous team. As soon as they traded
yeah.
for Goldschmidt, we know they're going to be dangerous.
Oh yeah, I said that too. I said that too. Once they traded and got Ball Goldsmith to balance out that lineup, I was like, yeah, they're gonna be a tough team out, and
Yeah.
they proved it all year.
All right. So now I'm gonna ask you some questions. Who do you have winning Manager of the Year?
For the American League, but it goes like that, right? Both sides get a Manager of the Year. For the American
I
League,
think so.
I'll probably say Tampa Bay's manager. There's
Base.
nobody expected Tampa Bay to be where they're at after trading Longoria and trading all of their veterans. Nobody expected them to be fighting for a playoff spot.
Yep,
And
I
then on top of
100%
that,
agree.
going and taking Houston to game 5.
Yeah,
I would have to say it's between Tampa Bay or the Minnesota Twins manager.
I agree with that too. Minnesota Twins, definitely could win one too because I mean we know because you know like I said, I'm a White Sox fan. I knew my division was gonna be weak, but I didn't expect the Twins to play that good. But anyways, so you got American League, Tampa Bay. Who you got for National League?
National League, I will probably give it to yeah, I'll probably say either Dave Martinez or this guy from the Cardinals.
I agree with that one too.
It's the Cardinals was another team that nobody expect to be here right now.
Yeah. So so Cardinals. You're going with the Cardinals.
Yeah,
All right. Who you got winning the MVP for the American League?
man, it's a 2-man race. It's between Trout and Bregman. But for me, I told you this a lot of times, year in and year out, I will always say Mike Trout.
Mike Trout, yes. Personally, the player the decade.
Yeah, it was unfortunate that he had the leg surgery and was out for the rest of the year.
Yeah. So who you got for National League?
National League, I say if Christian Yelich didn't get hurt, it was back-to-back years for him. But since he did get hurt, I'm gonna have to go with Cody Bellinger.
Agree too. I think Cody Bellinger he shocked me this year. Even though he's
Yeah,
not doing good in the playoffs, he still, to me personally, just had an amazing year. He was just every time I seen him in the news, he was hitting home runs. Just a
yeah.
overall good player. So who you got winning Cy Young?
In the American League, I got Justin Verlander.
Verlander?
Yeah, it might be close with Garrett Cole, but I got Verlander taking it. And then the
Yep.
National League, ooh, I'll probably say Max Scherzer again.
Scherzer? I agree with those two. So you're a big MLB guy, so you play obviously you play the game. So
Yeah.
what is your favorite card to use in DD? If you guys don't know what DD is,
Card,
DD is Diamond Dynasty mode.
my, my favorite card right now is I gotta literally say it's between that new 99 Vladimir Guerrero or that 99 Adrian Gonzalez. They both got real good swings, and once they get a bat to the ball flies.
Huh. Yeah, I agree with that too. I mean, I haven't used the Vlad yet, but I played a mission where I had to use him. And he's amazing. Um, so who is your most underrated player of all time?
Hmm. Most underrated. I would probably say it was Craig Biggio.
Craig Biggio.
For him being a small guy and a leadoff guy and have the record for leadoff home runs.
Yeah. So mine. So mine's is either it's a tie right now. It's between Fred McGriff because he played during the steroid era, so he gets undershadowed a lot.
Oh
And
yeah.
he basically he's a Hall of Famer in my eyes. But to the actual committee, they don't vote for him every year. And to me, the second best it has to be uh man. I just had him in my head. I just lost him. It was Fred McGriff and Todd Walker from the Rockies. The only
Oh
reason
yeah.
why, or Helton, because the only reason why they're not voting into the Hall of Fame is because they played in Colorado, and I think that's wrong. I think that
Yep.
the baseball committee should definitely put them in the Hall of Fame. I don't care if you played for the Rockies. I don't care if you played if you were the greatest of all time, Shy Park player of all time. You should be in the Hall of Fame for your stats and not for the place you played at. But
Yeah.
and there's an argument for that. I know Todd Russo on how he had an argument for saying oops, this box was in the camera the whole time. but but anyways, Todd Russo had an argument for saying that he didn't show up sometimes. And yeah, it's true, but still he still has the stats to prove it. Anyways, and last question, and probably end the podcast after this one, is uh the best player of all time. Who do you have as the best player of all time?
My best player of all time, I would have to say, even though I didn't get to watch him, I did see a lot of highlights of him. I would have to say Roberto Clemente.
Roberto Clemente. Why?
Just the way that he went about the game and
Yeah,
the way that he get on base and he'll steal bases, hit home runs. And then he had the rocket of a cannon from right field that nobody would try to run on him. It reminded me of Vladimir's arm. That these guys used to throw the ball from the warning track to home plate on the fly.
right.
So
I
with that and him being the way that he died, helping people that was affected by the hurricane, that it put something special on it.
yeah, I agree. I don't agree with him being the best player of all time. He's definitely up there. So
Yeah.
my best player of all time has to be. We could definitely rule out. So I'm gonna rule out two guys, and you probably already know who they are. Barry Bonds because he was a cheater, and
Yep.
I'm not one of those guys who don't put that past him. He cheated. He cheated the game. You're a cheater. I can't support you. Just be like in UFC. I mean, I could easily name John Jones as the greatest UFC fighter of all time, but since he took steroids, he got about that steroids PEDs. He got caught with PEDs, so I
Yep.
can't give him that. I can't give him that. But Barry Bonds and number two, Babe Ruth. The only reason why I don't choose Babe Ruth is because to me he's a myth. I never seen him play. There's no footage of him ever playing. There's only people's word to mouth and
And
history
the
books.
only footage they got of him is the famous point home run that it doesn't even look like he was pointing to the outfield.
Right, right. That's the only footage they have of him. And so I personally cannot say that he's the greatest of all time because first of all, I'm too young. I would have had to talk to an actual person who actually watched him play, or just an old, just a baseball analyst or somebody. It actually like or read the books because there's multiple books on him, and then maybe my opinion was swayed. But other than that, I'm gonna have to go with Ken Griffey Jr. as the best player of all time, in my opinion. He
Good
was just
choice.
a monster in the outfield. He's just at bat. He was over what 600 home runs.
Yeah,
Uh,
and you could literally say him and Edgar Martinez saved baseball in Seattle.
yeah,
When he
yeah,
got on first base, Edgar Martinez hit the gapper and he came home and he scored that run and saved baseball from Seattle, but they wanted to move.
yeah. There's also an argument too for Ted Williams as the best player of all time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so in my eyes, those two are the two best of all time. Roberto Clemente could definitely be up there. I just get the slight edge to Griffey because Griffey, growing up, my brother, you guys know he passed away. My brother, what favorite player was Griffey, so he put me on
Oh yeah.
Griffey, and I still remember playing the Nintendo 64 Griffey, because
Oh yeah.
kid, that was the only baseball game you had.
Yeah, that was the only game into MLB the show 17 that he was on the cover of.
Yeah,
And it
and
was officially called Grand the Ken Griffey game.
I know there's a lot of questions about why Derek Jeter is not on a baseball game. It's because the rights. If you guys don't
Yeah.
remember, he had MLB 2K. They have the rights to Derek Jeter, so that's probably why it's hard for Derek Jeter to come into a game. Uh, but so that's all I got for today. That's the podcast. You want to say anything to the people out there?
Thanks for coming to his channel and watching and giving him support and helping him grow in this YouTube stuff.
Yeah. Well, definitely, we're gonna try it. I'll talk to you off of the stream, but definitely gonna try to get on another podcast if you want to do this again. If you don't, that's all right.
Yeah, I'm down to do this again.
Yeah. So definitely we're gonna do this again. And maybe the next time, this time. So if you guys want to know how I'm gonna do it this time, instead of just asking normal questions we do now, we're gonna talk about topics. So since I'm not uploading episode one. I'm technically making this episode one. So in episode one, I talked about how basically we're gonna try to keep this friendly. We're not going to be cursing or we're not going to talk about heavy politics, and we're going to try to stay away from all that. We don't need all that negativity towards us. So, but we are gonna talk about sports. Um, Definitely might get heated a couple times. Depends on what we're talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah, but but yeah, so we'll probably think of as of right now, I'm gonna just keep it as Kane and Abel, if that's okay with you.
yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, so we're gonna keep it as Kane and Abel for now, and then in the future we're gonna think about a different name we could put together, and then definitely we're gonna try to get some better equipment in the future. I'll probably set up a Patreon in the future so we can work on getting better equipment, better lighting. I'm gonna try to get. So we're definitely gonna make this a thing and get more professional. So you guys
Okay.
have the patience and stay with us. We're definitely gonna try to do this. If you guys wondering too, I just got the New York Comic Con Funko Pops in, so wait for that video to come out. And we'll think about a time, probably like every Sunday or maybe Friday or Saturday, because so we could keep up with the news and talk about
Yeah.
different topics. But we'll talk about that another time. Anyways, guys, you guys have a wonderful day. Please like this video, comment, and share. and definitely prepare for more videos in the future. And see you guys later.
All right.